Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports. This video is a follow-up video to a gentleman who had really wide feet and he was interested in lake cycling shoes because he couldn't find anything else that would work for him. And he basically said it was torture to put on shoes to ride. And you know, we want to take care of people like that. So he came to me and we took a measurement of his feet. And you might recall this measurement or this diagram from a previous video. And a comment from someone who subscribed to my channel was, oh, it would be interesting if you gave the measurements of either a customer or in the video he made a comment of, it was for my own personal shoes. So what I want to show you here is that, you know, so left and right foot, and you know, you take the trace outline of your foot and you take the widest part and take a measurement, and then you take the length and take a measurement. And when you take a measurement, when you do your calculations, you take the length measurement and add 5 millimeters. The width, you don't have to add, but maybe you might want to add if you are having issues finding shoes with enough room. Okay, so for this particular customer, his feet measured 13 across. 13 centimeters or 130 millimeters. Okay, so yes, this is a very, very wide foot. So they have a shoe called the CX201. And I did an unboxing of that shoe, and it's a knit upper. So instead of having, you know, this type of an upper, or even like the kangaroo leather upper that their higher end shoes have, it's a knit upper. And it's very similar to, let's say, something like this Pearl Izumi shoe, knit, but it doesn't have this part here, which gives it a lot more shape and rigidity. It's just knit, and it's much softer knit than this, probably more like this material here. See how I'm poking my finger through that? Okay. So that CX201, I don't think on the images on their website you can really tell that that's a knit upper. So we had to look at the length of the shoe, and we ended up with a, you know, his shoe would have normally been like, let's say, a 44. We went with a 44.5. Now, the width of that shoe is only 109. And remember, I said it's 130 is what his actual foot was, what it measured. So we were able to get away with it. In other words, he came in, he tried them on, he says, oh my God, I can't believe how comfortable these are. And the reason we were able to get away with it is because that shoe, and I want to use this as an example. You see how this sole ends right there? And once that sole connects to the upper, this is now mesh or a knit type of shoe for the CX201. So he couldn't use any of the performance type shoes because if you look here, this is all carbon fiber. You know, it goes all the way around the shoe. And, you know, on both left and right side of the shoe. So you're not able to, you don't have any room. I mean, that is it. That's all you have, right? This is the CX403, which is their top of the line shoe. But because the CX201 is now knit, then what happens is his foot can now be, for lack of a better description, spilling over and it is a carbon soled shoe, by the way. It can be spilling over the carbon sole. Okay, so yeah, believe it or not, we were able to fit his 130 measurement into a 109 shoe. Now, his whole life, he has dealt with never being able to find shoes that fit him. He was a fireman. He's done some sports as well. All his shoes, all his life have been custom ordered or something. I think one of the places he orders shoes from, he gets into a 6E shoe. So this gentleman is used to having shoes that don't fit him well unless he goes custom or finds something that is not off, or that isn't off the shelf. And he is also used to having shoes tear over time. So when I sold him these shoes, I said, you know, your foot is spilling over the sides of the footbed. He says, yes, I know. That's what it is. And then I said, so your bunion and stuff, that's going to tear into that knit material. And, you know, I don't know how long these shoes are going to last. He says, I know, this is what I've had to deal with. And if I have to, I'll come back and get another pair, whether it be a year, a couple of years, whatever. So he's already prepared to get another pair because he is so comfortable in these shoes. So what's the takeaway on this? Well, on these other shoes, you have to be really, really within, like let's say the CX403, you have to be really within that width. Maybe the CX201 might solve a lot of the issues that some folks are having just because the material is going to give. These types of shoes with leather uppers or faux leather uppers, synthetic of some sort, that have a structural component to it. They want your foot to be snug. They want your foot to be supported so that you can sprint, so that you can climb, so you can do all kinds of stuff. And those shoes are just not going to give. I mean, maybe over time they'll break in, but that's just not going to work. So maybe if you're out there and you've got a really big foot, you've got some bunions, you've got some issues, this might be a shoe for you, the CX201. Do the trace outline, see where you're at. But here you are, 21 millimeters, right? So he measured 130, he fit into a 109, so 21 millimeters of extra above the measurement or the recommended size that the shoe was made for. It's their highest volume shoe, and what's interesting is they only have one size of it. It's just called their regular size. They don't have a wide, they don't have a extra wide. It's just CX201 regular. Okay, that's all for today. If you found this video informative, if you're like, oh, wow, that's cool, I didn't know I could do that, please post a comment down below. I'd like to hear what's going on with your shoe search if you have wide feet. And if this video helped you make a decision, please drop a line. I'd love to hear that it was helpful to you, or even after the fact say, wow, I got those shoes, they were great. You can buy them through me. That would be a great way to support the channel. But if you don't, that's great too. One thing that really helps the channel is liking, subscribing, making comments, and sharing this video with your other friends. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, we'll see you up the road.